Welcome back. Episode 1.2. Our first YouTube recorded Slice and Dice Unfair attempt. Part 2. Last time we beat 6 levels. It felt like a lot more than that, but we're only on level 7. It's interesting how many choices you make in such a small amount of time. I really like this game because 20 floors is not that many. I play a lot of Slay the Spire, which is I do 820 heart kills. So if you're familiar with Slay the Spire, it's another roguelite turn-based strategy game. It's a deck builder. This is a dice builder. There are a lot of similarities, but 820 heart kills means that you have 57 floors, 56 floors, something like that. So this is less than half the number of floors. A lot of the floors in Slay the Spire are actually a floor like this. This doesn't count as its own floor in this game, whereas in Slay the Spire, kind of, you get card rewards at the end of a floor of a combat. Here you get rewards at the beginning of a floor of a combat. So, anyway, point is, this game's a lot shorter. It's a lot more condensed, I think. Condense is a verb, not an adjective. This game is a lot more condensed. And the point I was going to make about that was, you make so many decisions, though, still. Even though the game's much shorter, the reason I use the word condensed is because I do think that you really concentrate the number of interesting decision-makings at a pretty fun pace. Pretty impressed. Just before we discuss our item choices, if you're joining us just for this episode, just a refresh of what happened previously. So this is our team. We've gotten 3 character upgrades. So we've got our gray and our yellow have yet to be upgraded from their starting character. I've been really impressed with Hoarder. What a starting character. Lots of 2 damage options. Sometimes more. Technically, Rampage can give you more than 2 damage worth of output. But if you compare it to other starting characters, just in general, I guess the yellow starting characters are pretty significantly good. I think Hoarder actually is not necessarily cut above the rest. I was just thinking about how bad other starting characters are, like Scoundrel, 4 X's, Buckle has 2 X's, Defender has at most 1 damage sides, so it's so much consistency, a bunch of ways to have 2 damage sides, pretty interesting. A bunch of keywords. I really like Hoarder. Also, 6 health versus 4 health, 5 health, and 5 health, so maybe that's the reason why Hoarder is an impressive yellow starter tier, is because he has more health than any of the other yellow starters. At any rate, we've made it through okay. We're currently, the most interesting thing to point out, because this is really specific to the run, and it's kind of what Unfair is all about, is what combination of curses you choose to make it through all 20 floors. We've got Stitch, which I keep forgetting about, so don't let me continue to forget it. The most damaged enemy of the enemy is heals 2 at the end of the turn, so you don't want to leave any damaged enemies if you can avoid it. So if you can finish someone off and everyone else is at full health, then there's no downside here. Mana Debt has been the one that's constantly on my mind, because my first spell is so expensive. We had a long conversation in the first episode about the impacts of your build from Mana Debt, so I'm not going to rehash that now. But the long story short is that small amounts of mana are worse than either no mana or lots of mana. And then start damage. This is a pretty forgiving curse right now anyway. 3 of 4 seems to be a nice break point, because look at how many of my characters have 6 or 7 health to start. So they're dodging the 2 missing health from an 8 health character, which some tier 2s have. And then also Priestess has this heal 1 to all allies side that actually is useful on turn 1 now. So it's just kind of cool. It's not been such a bad curse. This one's been really bad, and this one's also really bad, but it's easier to forget about because When it's bad, it's really bad, but sometimes it does nothing. Whereas this one is always affecting you, every fight, from the beginning of the fight. Okay, Unholy Strength, immune to shields, immune to healing, +1 to the middle row. It's pretty cool on Juggler, pretty cool on Hoarder. Bowl, revert all changes to all sides. I don't understand this. Revert all changes to all sides. I don't know what this does, honestly. What changes to sides do you make? Is it at the start of the fight? And if it is, does that just mean it cancels out whatever other item is equipped to your character that's affecting your sides? Changes to all sides. Revert all changes to all sides. I don't understand this. Unholy Strength is pretty good. Although immune to healing is pretty bad with Priestess. Jester's kind of funny with Unholy Strength. I'm happy to put this on the Juggler, I think. Just extra juggles is really, really powerful. Although immune to shields sucks with the Juggler's shield deal. Oh gosh. Maybe it's just a random tier 2 or 4. Because healing is such a big part of my strategy right now, but it won't necessarily be later. Healing tends to be pretty good. And shielding. Healing and shielding, you can't be immune to both of those. That's some rubbish right there. If this was, there's some tier 3 characters that pay off a little bit better with this. Although I'm looking at the, oh yeah, like Fencer. These get a lot better. Kind of. There's another juggler, like a tier 3 juggler, basically. That we haven't seen yet. That this is a lot better on. I'm gonna roll. I think I've rolled every time for my items. I rolled this. I might have taken this. I don't remember. It's a tier 1 item. It's pretty cool. I think I rolled this also. I think I rolled both times. Let's just keep it rolling. I think a big charm of this game is the discovery element. So if I go to my items, they're 2s and 4s. I haven't even discovered, it looks like half of the 2s that there are to discover. So it's fun to just roll for items that are available for you to see for the first time. I've seen a few more 4s than I have 2s, but let's roll. Hope we get a 4. We got a 4. Replace the rightmost side with revive the top, the 4 topmost defeated allies. Death. You die. Place the, well, it's just a no risk bonus to a character that's going to be around for a long time, like Buckle or Juggler. Juggler has more health, so I guess I'll put it on Juggler. And if the Juggler's the last one, you can bring everyone back. Kind of scary to, if you ever have to use this, which we hope we never do, but there's no downside to equipping it. But if we ever have to use this, and it literally does revive all of your allies, the problem there, the bad thing about that is the next fight, you're guaranteed to have everyone start at half health, -1 in our case. Because if allies start damaged, or -2, actually, we'll start getting -2 here pretty soon. But because even if you revive an ally in a combat, it still starts the next combat damaged. Okay, anything else we want to move around? Hoarder definitely keeps the Sapphire Skull because he has the lowest health. We haven't put this on anyone, and I had a quick conversation about basically if the fight is fast, this is bad on Jester. I guess I could put it on Priestess, but I don't want to. This fight is pretty fast, so let's not put it on anyone. Alright, Jester getting punked. Ooh, finally some synergy with the Jester reroll and the cantrip on the Juggler. We could keep this, but it's unlikely to deal 2 damage because of Juggler. So I'm not going to keep it. I can keep this. It saves the Jester. It's one of my most powerful sides. Let's go. Thank you, Jester, for the reroll side. Oh, that's so good. Take that dodge. And we'll take the 2 damage here. It's pretty good. Reroll the Juggler a couple times. Honestly, I'll just reroll it again. Buckle is doing almost nothing. I'm just going to look for his damage side. Wow, we get to kill the slate, but we don't have to. The reason not to is the Jester is just dodging the slate, so we'll kill him next turn. And the Priestess can hit whomever she'd like. I guess we hit the Hoarder. He only does single damage at a time. But yeah, we'll hit the Hoarder. I forgot about Stitch, of course. I always forget about Stitch. But that's fine. The slate should not be hard to kill from here. I say that, and yet it looks like he's going to be pretty hard to kill from here. But we'll see. We can keep the heal all is going to be better than this, I think. And let's look for a higher roll on the Jester, like the 3 mana side. Dodge is not great. Let's look again. Oh, the Hoarder should probably re-roll this since it can't target the slate. That was a mistake. Okay, not so bad. Everyone lives. The reason I kept the heavy was because I thought it was the buckle, and I would have liked the heavy on the buckle, but not on the Hoarder. They both have this 2 damage heavy side, and I confuse them from time to time. He heals up a little bit, but he doesn't do that much damage that fast. Ooh. We'll keep you, we'll keep you, we'll even keep you. Oh, this is just lethal. Everyone's back to full. Well, not full, but the Hoarder is now back on not having died the previous round. Just in time for us to replace him with the Collector, perhaps. Or get Guardian instead of Buckle. Well, the Cleave is not that good in this fight. The Engage is so bad. The Engage is so bad because none of my heroes are even at full health, so I guess it's Collector. It's a little weird. Like, the Duplicate side has some niche application, but mostly it's just a vanilla 1 damage side. This is at best a 2 damage side, though it's not too hard. We got the versatility of the Cleave here, which is very nice. The range is nice. Yeah, I like the Collector here, although it is at that 8 hit point threshold. I mean, so is the Guardian. There's nothing you're going to do about that. Eventually your heroes are going to start with 2 life down because they have 8 or more health. It just stinks to have exactly 8 health. Alright, thank you, Hoarder. You've done well. Who's most likely to die now? Probably the Buckle, because he's in the middle and doesn't have a dodge. So he'll die saving someone else. And the Infuse Herbs is actually quite a bit better here because this is a long fight and the Bell does damage over time to everyone. So heal 2 per turn, if I can kind of work that up on my heroes, is extremely good. And the 1 mana single use side is pretty rubbish. So this does still have the problem that it doesn't do anything on turn 1 because it costs 2 mana, but it gives me way more optionality in the fight. So I'm going to put it on the Jester. Okay, okay. You like to get the reroll cantrip and another cantrip on the Juggler. It's not the cantrip on the Juggler I would have liked, but it's okay. I'm pretty happy with just taking the 2 damage here. Well, almost everything is 2 damage. There are 2 that aren't, though. The cleave will not be... Well, the cleave is 2 damage, but when I'm talking about 2 damage, on this first turn, I would love to make sure we can kill Fnatic by the end of next turn. And the cleave, is, if for that purpose, is only 1 damage. The duplicate is only 1 damage, probably. Unless someone rolls something useless, which Buckle very well may, because he's got 2 X's. So this is... Expected value is less than 2 damage. This expected value is 2 damage. This expected value is 2 damage. 2 damage plus shield. So it seems like... so these are worse than the focus. Yeah, so 2 of them are worse. This expected value is 1.5. If I think of my expected values being 2 per turn for most of the other sides, like this is 2 per turn, this is 2 per turn if I roll it. So this is only 1.5. So this is technically worse. But it... No, yeah, this is technically worse. I can hit it next turn. So this turn, these 3 are all worse than this. Which is a reason to keep this. But then the other 3 are at least as good. And we've got 3 rerolls, so we're gonna reroll. We're gonna be greedy. We're gonna reroll this. Priestess can heal everyone. That will be useful. Everyone's gonna want that, and everyone else can reroll. Buckle's happy to take the pristine side. Is that actually true? Yeah, to block the priestess. Okay. So we will reroll all of this. Good. Good. Not good. This is great, but we've got 2 more rerolls. We have 2 more rerolls, but we're not rerolling the Jester anymore, so we can't get any more reroll cantrips. And hitting 2 1 damage juggles, or hitting 2 juggles of any kind whose juggles don't hit the bell, are kind of worse. I don't know. Getting the damage invested in on the bell is pretty good. And the Fnatic is not that hard to kill next turn. Have to deal 9 damage. That's still pretty hard. I'm just thinking, like, if I re-roll this and get a 1 and it hits the bell, and then I re-roll it and it gets a 1 or nothing and it hits the bell, then I miss out on 2 damage on the Fnatic, who needs to take 9 damage before the end of next turn if we don't want it to deal a massive amount of damage to one of our characters. 2 rerolls though. But yeah, even if we hit a juggle, it is a 50% chance to hit the target we want. And if we don't hit a juggle, like the shield, everyone needs shields. Like the shield is quite good here. It's only 1 miss. We'll give it a shot. We'll re-roll. Oh, Flick is cute. It's 2 damage instead of 1. Because Fnatic's at full life. Maybe that's the reason to keep this. Because we're going to be able to afford Flick. So any damage we gain, overall, we lose overall back from the Flick, just dealing less damage, but also specifically the damage lost is concentrated to lost damage on the Fnatic, which is worse. Okay, so we're going to re-roll this, and I guess we keep this because we don't want to hit any blanks at this point. Pretty much everything is better than this. That's not true. It depends. These 2... This one is worse. This one's a side grade. It's like it spreads the damage out and does 2 damage. This one deals 3 damage, but on average it's 1.5 per turn because we miss next turn guaranteed. So I'm going to reroll. I'm going to be greedy. We hit the worst one. We should have just kept the focus at the beginning. But we had 3 rerolls. Sometimes that happens. I'm going to flick the Fnatic and smack the Fnatic. We have to shield the Collector so he doesn't die. And we'll punch the Fnatic for 1 instead of 3 or 2. Fanatic is killing itself. It's quite a bit overkill. Juggler is getting smacked by the Fanatic. If we can kill the Fanatic, 6 damage. That doesn't seem too hard. Keep this. Heal everyone. Flick is A damage, but I'm gonna look for something better. Look for something better. Is this something better? Nope. I don't care about. Yeah. You're dead, right? It's close, but we get there, which means we save the Fanatic. Or we save the Juggler by killing the Fanatic. And then we can heal up our lowest health character. Oh, I was thinking about Pristine as an engage shield, but it's not. It's a Pristine shield. So the buckle needs to be at full health, not the target. Okay, in this case it doesn't matter at all. The Pristine, that is, because we're only taking 1 damage from the bell. Let's save the Collector. He's much more useful than the Priestess. Hello, Imp. Imp can be bad for Juggler. Sure, but Juggler dodged it like a boss. The reason I tossed Focus on that very first turn was because exactly this side was better. This would have been the same. This would have been the same because it's literally the same. And then 3 of them were worse. But I had 3 rerolls. I wonder what the math on that is. 3 of them being worse is not that bad, but only 1 of them being better is pretty bad. Like the fact that this and this were the same thing, and so I'm just giving up variance because neither of these upgrade my attack from 2 damage, except if I also get the 2 shield. Very interesting. Okay, well, heal 1 to everyone's pretty good. Priestess is getting smoked this turn by the Imp. It's possible to take out the Imp though. Now this is a little bit different because this is an upgrade. And this is an upgrade. To the focus side, I mean. And even this might be an upgrade if we really need to kill the Imp. So, I am going to re-roll the Collector again to show that I have not learned my lesson. But the situation's a little bit different this time, because this time I think the Exert is genuinely better. And the Bow is genuinely better. Yep. That's fine. That's great. I guess we just keep the shield. Helps save the Priestess. So, worst. Collector can take a damage there. Okay. And then protect the Collector again. The bell is killing itself. Nope, it's not killing itself because of Stitch, which I continue to forget about. This is great. This is good. This is pretty good because no one's dying and it's 2 damage. Let's reroll everything else. I think we get out of this fight. This fight seems easy from here on out. Nice. Harpoon. It's a cool weapon. Pretty good on the Juggler. Natural. Blue heroes are puts right sides with +2 mana. It's not bad on the Jester. Holy cow, actually. It's pretty good on the Jester. These are interesting choices. I like both of these. I like both of these. Putting this on the Juggler is nice for a few reasons. It's a little weird. So the Juggler you want to re-roll all the way down. Try and get all those cantrips. But the downside with doing that is they have this blank side. I know there's an item here right now, but in most fights, even this item is a blank side. So it would be nice to put a right side replacer on the juggler so you can roll all the way down. But if your right side replacer is your best damage, which vulnerable can be, depending on how the rest of the vulnerable typically won't be. I'll just say that. Priestess does no damage. And spells are hard to get going because of slow spells or whatever. Mana debt. Buckle does very little damage. So besides juggler, it's just like collector who's going to capitalize on the vulnerable. So putting harpoon on the juggler is a little weird for that reason. Well, no. That explanation is to point out the fact that this is actually not the best damage side, which is actually a good thing for juggler. So I was going to say the weird thing about having a right side replacer that is your best damage side is if you roll it on turn 1 or 2, mostly 1. If you roll on turn 1, it's like, do you keep it? If the juggler's objective is to roll all the way down. Really, you just want to buff this and then roll all the way down to your best cantrip side. But I think this is it's weird to say that because vulnerable is less good, that makes me feel better about putting on the juggler, but it's kind of what my argument was there, which means there's a flaw in my logic. Anyway, I think this is great on the juggler. Getting rid of the risk of rolling all the way down by getting rid of the X is very good. And in the situations where this is best to keep on the first roll, that's fine. There will be lots of situations where we get it on the first roll, and we just keep rolling anyway, and then hope we get, cantrips. But there's no risk, because we can just get it on the last roll, and that's just as good. I really like natural, and it's quite good here with Jester. But we're going to skip it, because small amounts of mana are worse than no amounts of mana. And the dodge side is pretty good. 2 mana is not a really small amount of mana. Something else to consider here is this is a blue-only character, so if we look at our other blues, it's how many of them want replace right side with that? Wizard does not. Sorcerer does. Ace does. I'd have a hard time evaluating whether or not Chronos and Weaver do. Warlock does. Artificer probably does. Suddenly, this looks a lot better than I thought it was. Apparently, the right 2 sides of almost all of the tier 3 mages are bad. But small amounts of mana are worse than no mana, since the opportunity cost is a harpoon, which I quite like. I think the harpoon helps a good deal. I want both of these. Interesting that the only tier 3 characters we haven't unlocked are the Ranger. Ranger's probably the name of a specific tier. Yeah, Ranger. But I feel like the orange class is kind of the Ranger class in general. This is a hard decision. So let's think about this fight. So we got Sniper, Quartz, Imp, and Sniper. So the Juggler's a little bit worse in this fight because there's a spiky enemy. Mana's a little bit worse in this fight because we can't target the snipers. I guess that's argument enough for Harpoon. Harpoon's pretty good in this fight because it can help with Quartz math. I do think we put it on the Juggler. And this can go on the Jester, it doesn't really matter. It's pretty good on the Jester, actually. I've had some 1v1 scenarios where I'm down to my last character and they have a dodge, and they can hit the dodge over and over, but they can't win the fight. So that kind of gives you an out to hit the dodge over and over until you get the respawn. Pretty nice. And then Buckle can keep the oh, this is a fast fight, so we don't want the is that right? Yeah, this is a pretty fast fight. It's a very fast fight. So we don't want to slow down the fight by taking this. I wonder if having this item makes me more interested in having taken that 2 mana on the right sides of the mage. Because then on turn 1 you actually can use this. And this is a pretty good thing to do on turn 1. Interesting. Slight regret. I think the harpoon is not going to do that much in the late game. It's pretty good on this floor though. And I think on this floor, it's best to do this out. So I optimize for right now. I don't know if that's correct. But slight regret. It seemed like neither of them were that good long term. But now I'm seeing that there was some benefit long term. Okay. Priestess is getting her butt kicked. Once again, we have this question of the 1 damage focus. A big difference here is that the cleave is actually better by quite a bit. And the ranged is better by quite a bit. So a big difference between the focus side on this turn 1 versus last turn 1, which is a very similar situation. We have 3 rerolls because we started with the cantrip on the Chester on the first roll of turn 1. The big difference here is that we're not trying to focus down a Fanatic. And there is a spiky enemy. So suddenly, lots of these sides are much better than the 1 damage focus. So we're going to re-roll it all. That's fine. It's not great. We got 2 re-rolls. I can be greedy. Nice. Nice. And then re-roll this? I guess we can keep it. So the priestess is getting sniped out of her mind. This has to target the lowest health enemy. What? Target must have the least HP, but she doesn't. Is that just a lie? Target must have the least HP. She has 6 HP. Buckle has 5. Collector has 6. Juggler has 5. I'm kind of confused. Why is this sniper targeting the priestess? Target must have the least HP. Whatever. Okay, how many sides are better than vulnerable? Almost all of them, right? Because right now, the exert on the imp... Bingo. I don't know. It's like half the time, a single damage juggle just hits the imp. Waste the damage because we're going to exert the imp anyway. And then deals an extra damage to my juggler. But half the time it hits the corpse. Does that matter though if Stitch is gonna happen? Vulnerable is anti-synergy with Flick, by the way. And it's anti-synergy with Engage in general. We're gonna re-roll both of these. Nice. So this helps save the priestess. And we just save the mana, because none of this does anything. Unless we can kill the courts, which we can't. Just trying to build back up because of Stitch. But that's okay, almost no one takes any damage. Ooh, Jester gets weakened though. Jester's gonna suck next turn, but he can hit his dodge. It's fine. And Priestess is getting slammed by this line eliminate. I'm a little frustrated by that. Though we are missing Collector next turn. So that's a little scary. Slow turn here. Now Juggler's getting pulverized. Not the lowest health enemy, but getting punched by the snipers. So this is great. And then I guess Jester can look for exactly 1 mana. There's nothing else to look for, so that's what we do. And Juggler, please don't re-roll. Juggler's been missing a lot of... I've rolled 4 dice, the Juggler. No, 5? Because I rolled 4 on round 1. And 4 of the 5 have been basically the blank side. That's good. Just roll it again. Nice, 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 nice. Really, really good here. And we can save the Juggler. Not gonna flick anyone. We can heal up whomever we'd like, probably the Juggler. Okay. This went great. Great. This is lethal pretty soon. It's probably already lethal. It's like way lethal, yeah. Okay, finally get to upgrade the buckle. I've always wanted to take statue. Oh, statue's so bad with start damaged. Excuse me. By the way, statue's so bad. Full stop. I've taken him a few times because I think it's a really clever idea for an enemy. I really like that they made the statue, or for a character. I really like that they made the statue a pickable character that actually like can have synergies. Great design. Great design. I love the statue. I think he's not good. Which makes me wish he was a little stronger. Like maybe if he had 25 health, 24 health. We don't have any items that synergize with him, by the way. But like the mana powder would have been a synergy. Just to think about. I guess this is a synergy. I'm gonna replace his bottom side. And this is a synergy. It's actually kind of a hilarious synergy. Could put both of these on him. We could put this on him, actually. But we're not going to. We're going to take Bard. Bard is great. We got the reroll. Oh, yeah, I actually really like Bard. This is sweet. Sweet, sweet. Bard pick. Choose Bard twice. Enchanted Harp. Yeah, Bard is awesome. Okay, most likely person to die is Chester. Maybe. Least amount of health. Do we want the infused herbs? Maybe. No, Spiker deals way too much damage. 7 damage per pop. Means this is a fast fight, not a slow fight. So we're not going to take the infused herbs. Okay, good luck us. Bard's a little weird because small amounts of mana are worse than no amounts of mana. But it's better than statue. I mean, we weren't skipping there. Armor would have been weird. I tend to like armor though. Monk would have been good. Anyway, we'd already seen Guardian. Guardian's terrible. Okay. Nice, nice. Getting that cantrip value. This is not good because it takes incidental spiker damage. This is good because it heals everyone. This is pretty good too. Maybe we just take this. We've got 3 rerolls to look for. The other thing we're looking for on Bard is actually the reroll side to let Juggler juggle more. And then, besides that though, this is the best. But there are 2 of them and we've got 3 rerolls for it, so I'm going to be greedy here and reroll. Nice, and this is why. Although, I am realizing that Spiker is anti-Juggler. Is there any good way to kill Zombie? No. Uh-oh. So we're toast. This is not a good fight for us. Holy cow. No way to buff this up to 4. Not a good fight for us. Okay. Jester's gonna take the mana. And then we're gonna reroll. Oh, yep, we got the side that we should have taken to begin with. We're gonna look for a 2 damage side. Nope. Give me a way to... Well, it's not terrible for a couple of reasons. And one is that 1 damage is better for the Jester than 1 mana. So we're gonna do this. Take it slow. This is 5 damage spread across everyone. We want him to roll this every time. And we'll kill the zombie when we can. Nice, he rolled it again. Oh, freaking... I was trying to figure out what happened there. Stitch. Freaking Stitch. But that's okay. That's okay. Keep this. Keep this. We can reroll the juggler once. Try and hit the zombie. We missed. Well, we can take the exert, and we can take this. And we really want to shield everyone. Shield everyone? Can we kill the zombie? We can flash. Flash only hits Juggler and Bard. It's not very good. We can kill the zombie. That's huge. No poison on the Bard. Okay, now it's just a game of attrition against Spiker. We might lose Juggler. But our spells are no longer expensive. Totally fine. Totally fine and honestly expected. This does nothing. This is not that good. Let's be aggressive? Why? Well, because this does nothing. What are we looking for? Nothing here is good. This is only 3 health. So maybe we look for heal 1 to all. Because that's 4 health. It's hard to say. I'll reroll everything looking. The only thing that does anything here is this side. So I guess we're just looking for that side. I guess we just keep looking. This is the worst side for the healer. Keep looking. Nice. And this doesn't matter. We're in trouble. We're in big trouble. Because of the heal too. Heal and shield 1 to all dying allies. We need him to never roll this, basically. And he just rolled it. So already mission failed. There's a way to win this. Is there a way to win this that doesn't involve stupid RNG, though? By that, I mean, so the way to win that I just identified was, like, if he always attacks Jester, and Jester always dodges, and Priestess just uses Vitality 1,000 times, then we win. So that's not a good out. What's another out? He always does 2 damage to everything, and we always heal all. Or vitality, I guess. Or, yeah, and shield 1 to all allies. Okay, it's another option. Ooh, hold on. The charge shield here from the Bard helps a lot. It's another way. We always roll this on whomever. And Priestess gets vitality. So let's take the vitality. The single-use manas aren't very good here. So let's roll. Not terrible. I'll take one. And we really need you to get the charge shield. And we really want you to get... It doesn't matter. You can do almost nothing. Oh, the bow. Well, we can take that too. We'll flick him. This is fine. This is fine. We can get there, I believe. Okay. Jester has the best outs of anyone. We keep this. Do we keep this? The heal all is +4. I guess we re-roll this. We need to look for the dodge. And that roll sucks. And we missed here. We really want to hit the charge. The charge shield is fine. Okay, we hit this. Oh dear, do we even take this? It's so much better than... Oh, so many options. And he's totally savable. So I guess we take this. We don't take this. We don't want to exert you next turn. And we roll this. And we definitely roll this. Come on, Bard. Come on, Bard. Good enough. I say that, but is it actually good enough? Okay, we just flick. We flick and wait. Flick. Jester and Bard both missed. They're at 1. They're 1 out. Yes! Yes! Okay. Yeah, that's great too. What am I looking for here? I'm looking for nothing. Dealing 7. This doesn't block for 7, so it's a moot point. Okay, we're doing it. Right? Spiker still is at 11 health, which I feel like he's been at 11 health the whole time. This is not, it's not the time for you. We might need this, but not yet. Healing is good, but even better is for the Bard to block for him, which might not happen. But this is tough. This is tough. Might need to burst the Collector to save him. But that's fine. The 3 vitality is, like, comparable. So we'll just re-roll everything. This, yes. Okay. So this is worth 2 health and a mana, which is, like, worth 1 health. So it's like it's worth 3 health, which means it's similar to vitality. So I guess we take it. And then we re-roll this for the ranged, not the focus. Who do we heal? I guess we heal the priestess. We can't let the priestess die, by the way. Totally block out. We have 7 mana, so we can deal 7 damage. 8 damage. It's close. Gets to attack for free. Okay, he's down to 6. Stop doing this one. I knew the priestess was in trouble, although we rolled this side immediately, so it's not so bad. Healing everyone's pretty good. We can just take this. Is this lethal? I think it might be. It is lethal. Ha 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 ha! We got out! Get wrecked, Spiker! Oh, that was a satisfying fight. What's Anvil? I'm not sure. What? How's this been 51 minutes? Have I spent 51 minutes on 4 levels? I guess I have. Thanks for joining us. We'll make this decision later. That was a long fight. I know I've done a lot of meta analysis as well, so I hope that has not made this episode a little bit too laborious to watch. A little bit too, what's the word? Bloated? Yeah, bloated is the word. I hope it's not too bloated to muddle through. And I'll see you next time.